Welcome to the Tribe UG podcast. As you can see, Felix is not here. He's in Nairobi visiting Kimani. That's him on Zoom. That's him on Zoom. Safaricom is working, as you can see. And well, today we have a special guest in the building. I'll let the team introduce themselves, but it's an honor to be the captain of this ship when we have such a guest, and I'll try to be on my best behavior. Where it sleeps, it's the devil, but well.
It is
Damzi?
Hi guys, Damzi here. Excited to be here. I feel like I must say, one of these days Mark, you and I are going to be absent and we'll leave Felix and Ian to do an episode alone. We'll just call an ambulance and make sure there's one outside, just to make sure. But yes, hi guys, welcome to this episode.
The Count Markula in the building, season 3, episode 11. Guys, go here, taking. But anyway, yes, like they said, we're in the building with a special guest, the gentleman to my right. Good sir, greetings and salutations.
Well done, please.
Ewan Badman, introduce yourself.
No, don't introduce yourself. Ian is going to introduce you.
Ian got you.
Well,
captain of the ship.
Our guest today is a radio icon.
Fancy words.
If you've had the privilege of having a radio in your home, last time I talked about things, you're saying, boo, some people can't access them, but a radio in your car, in your house. You know him from his days at XFM. You've had him when he crossed over to the Naguru station. Mm-hmm. Now we know he's on the Kampala Road station. The hints are there. He has a morning show. If you've not had breakfast, he has a breakfast morning show. And I've been told to ask him a question, but after he introduces himself, Felix sent it all the way from Nairobi. But well, our guest today is Rudende.
Via Zoom,
Okay. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you guys for having me, man. Happy to be on the Tribe podcast. This is a seminal moment, man.
And
man.
Felix told me that before we get into the interview and everything, as Ikado was in the arms of Kimani, he told me to ask you.
Are you sure it wasn't Njeri? Waidera and Mudhoni, Wanjiku, Nyambura.
He told me to ask you, you've done morning radio for a while.
Yes.
Who is your favorite co-host that's not Sima?
That's a very good question. Yeah, like he introduced me. I've had quite a journey on Ugandan radio. Broke up with my ex, thought I found my next. But finally, I did find my joy. Bars.
I respect it. Oh my God.
But that's a very easy question. It's a tie.
It's a tie.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tie. It's a tie between KK and Libolo Chai.
Gila.
Yeah.
Gila.
It's a very political answer.
It's a very political answer.
But
it's what I expected.
But you're going to have to pick one.
Yeah, you have to choose
if you
one.
had to pick
Just
one.
one?
Just one.
I'll pick KK.
I'll pick KK.
I don't say this lightly. I honestly think KK is the best radio presenter we have ever had. In UG.
That's That's
That's
saying a lot.
Yeah.
Shout out to KK.
And we have a segment on this. The weeks are long.
Yes.
Some weeks are easy.
Yes.
So we have a segment. For Felix, the week has just been up and down. But
I know, man. Nairobi is not easy.
Especially when you travel on bus.
That's like a 14-hour journey. You're wondering, will I stop in Kisumu or will I stop in Naivasha?
So we have a segment.
Yes.
Whenever we start the podcast, and if you had to choose a theme song for your week, a Ugandan song, what would it be?
Hey, I thought you were going to ask me who my favorite rappers are. Anyway, if I was to pick a song...
Please don't set your own questions, okay?
Yes,
don't
madam.
set, it's not your show.
Yes,
tune.
That's a good one. A song, but let me just give you the bit in that song that resonated with me this week. I wake up every day thinking how I'm going to make that money. Then I think about everything that's going to take that money.
Oh my God.
Pesa, Rionga.
I've been triggered because Yeah.
Nina shida mingi ambazo
Because you
pesa
want to make
Like I'm
hazawezi.
triggered because money keeps going, you guys. I don't understand why and where, but damn it.
Yeah. So I think I'd pick Rionga's pesa, especially salary week coming up. And stuff. There's
Yeah,
so much
that's a
month
good one.
at the end of your money.
There's so much money at the end of your money.
I do Kampala.
That's a good one. That's a
Damsy,
good
what's
one.
yours?
I just say how you quickly jumping to me as if people don't have your own answers. Anyway, so for me, it's mostly because I've been listening to this song the whole week, not because it's a reflection of my week. My week was busy, guys, busy, and I almost died in the gym, but I'm alive. But I'm alive. But yeah, I've been listening to Owo a lot, Navagre, and like I've been in my feels. You get it, like
Navagre and Kenneth
yeah, I've been in my
Muragari.
feels. So Owo, Navagre, and Kenneth. So that's been my like soundtrack for the week.
Yeah, that was the song, so
Yeah.
he's so excited.
He can't even talk. Mark, what's your song?
So I give him a break. Eh?
Yeah, give him a break. Let him think. You know,
Man, there was this Kobu Sinje who were jazzing.
really.
Man, and then Kobu was like, "Man, you should bring Miko flowers." What? I was like, they're still flower people, but okay. And then I'm like, well, what flowers are you into? And she's like, she likes lilies, and I'm allergic, so I took it as a red flag. But all that aside,
You're allergic to flowers in general?
to
Yeah.
lilies.
Oh, to lilies in particular,
like
okay.
badly, like those were, and I suffer with flowers in general, but like lilies are pro max.
Have you ever dated a Lillian?
So the song of the week is Lily by Tucker HD.
Oh, Lily?
Like I love you, oh Lily.
Actually, oh Lily.
Oh Lily.
But Mark, you didn't tell me the story about. Anyway, we shall take this offline.
Kopsinje Lillian, eh?
Yeah, go to the Lily. Ian, what was your
My
song?
song of the week is New Day by Atlas and Lillian Babazi.
Lily.
Another Lily.
Yeah, it's been an interesting week. Lots of new things here and there, but well, here we are.
Okay,
So,
that's a good
Rudende.
one. That's a good one.
Karame.
You have quite an interesting journey. I don't even know where to begin.
From the beginning.
Not radio.
From the beginning.
Sorry. No, I mean, we do know that as podcasters, I'll be like, before we started ours, I really used to listen to Not Radio like a problem. And like, actually, like what, 2-3 weeks ago, we re-listened to some episodes from season 5. Y'all did 5 seasons. Guys, we have to catch up. What is this? Management. But like, yeah, we re-listened.
Because I worry when you're doing a podcast.
It was fun.
A podcast doesn't have active listeners, like call-ins and stuff. And there's no live reaction to what you're saying. So many times you think you're speaking to yourselves. You think back to an episode and ask, what was on me?
Yeah.
Am I
What was
normal?
on me?
You know?
You must ask
But-
yourself that every day.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. by it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No, I know
I'm
what
sure I'm
he,
not surprised.
he asks
but-
himself every day.
That's usually what I ask after, whom am I? Looking in the mirror, trying to psych myself up for the day. Whom am I? What was on me?
But let me ask,
Yes, sir.
podcast and radio. I know most of us know you and respect you for radio.
Thank you.
But for the time you did the podcast, we got to see, I wouldn't say unfiltered, but we saw you without chains. Because a
So you
podcast,
said
you have more
unfiltered.
freedom.
Yes.
Yeah? No, unfiltered could mean the
Okay,
conversation.
unchained. Yeah.
Unchained.
Like
So, but
Django.
if you had to choose, podcast or radio?
Just hang on a second. Give me 2 seconds right here. I'm noting down every dry joke because Mike has like Django.
So Rudende is always
That's
getting me in
one.
trouble for every dry
That's
joke,
one.
and those are beatings on my roster. Oh, you actually noted it. Oh
Yeah.
my god!
You were saying so.
You came so prepared.
I get, for Mark.
If you had to choose, podcast or radio?
There's, I've never actually thought of that question. It's like you said, there's something about podcasting that I wouldn't say unchained,
Yeah.
but you really are unfettered when it comes to a podcast because you think the people who come to a podcast, because podcast is really content on demand. So when they come, they know what they're expecting.
Yes.
Right? You're not exactly straitjacketed by things like UCC guidelines and stuff. Podcast can be on anything. And because you're speaking to a very niche audience, they understand you a certain way and you can be yourself, so to speak. So
Right.
I would say as I've grown older, podcasting. which is ironic because I'm not podcasting at the moment.
Which is
yes, you are currently.
You are right now, so congratulations. Hey.
But do you feel like with the rise of podcasts, do you feel like they've chipped away on radio in any shape or form?
Yes and no. The thing, radio doesn't hold the same position in the media as it did back then, because radio back then was many people's first point of call when it comes to what's breaking. When it comes to news, many people had certain songs first on the radio.
On the radio, yeah.
And that's how it was back in the day. Of course, that has changed now because with the rise of social media and digital media in general, it's really democratized that process.
Right.
But radio has still given us the platform, and when I say us, I speak collectively, to be thought leaders. Because why else are people coming to the radio now?
Yeah.
So many times, what you're going to tell them, they've already had it. You know, they've already seen it on social media. Their artist already released a song that was shared on WhatsApp, and it has traveled to about 50,000 people. So, I mean, how many people still call into a radio to request music? They already have that music on demand.
Yeah.
So that leaves you in the space of being a thought leader. It's not about breaking the news, but it's about what do you think about what happened?
Yeah.
How are you going to affect a coffee conversation? Because if you think about it, technically we have 4 hours every day.
Yeah.
What do people leave with at the end of those 4 hours? That's going to spur a conversation that will carry on through the rest of their day. That's going to set the tone for their day. That's going to affect the zeitgeist eventually.
Yeah.
Oh, you brought your big words to the end. Sorry.
Doesn't he always?
I'm the Didan today. She's always asking about your strong terms and stuff. But
Shout out to D-Dad.
I want to follow up that question. Again, radio has evolved in the impact that it has over time, right? And now I'm speaking from like an artist or music perspective. Back in the day, like you said, we discovered music on the radio. You had it first on the radio, started writing your lyrics, whatever. You get, and also for a lot of artists, that's where they got the most push.
I think there's actually a jingle like that. I think it was on Voice of America back in the day, which used to play on Radio West 95.2, midnight to 6. And it would be voices of artists saying, "Hi, my name is..."
What?
I don't
My
know.
name is
Colby Adonis. And you heard my song first on the radio.
yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So that was a jingle usually before they would play new music.
Yeah.
So again, like you're making my point for me, radio used to be the place, right?
Used to, yeah.
But now that a lot of the streaming platforms have grown, people release music on social media. Someone will plan to release a YouTube video first before they even, maybe take it to the radio or whatever.
Hey,
How has
wait.
that
Not even just a YouTube video. Be like Beyonce and release a whole album.
Exactly.
Visual and other.
So how has that changed, right? Is that making radio less, I don't want to say relevant, but for the popularity of an artist, how has that changed, especially back then and now? What do you have to say about that?
I think ultimately, when you're an artist, you have an audience that you sing to. Right? And it may not necessarily be the audience that I speak to.
Okay.
So if you think about it, at the end of the day, radio is selling audiences. That's what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You curate an audience and then you sell that audience for value to whichever advertiser is paying you for that audience. And likewise, that's the relationship between a radio station now or a radio show and the artist in this day and age. We give the artist a chance to humanize themselves.
Yeah.
Because I may only know you in a certain way, right? That's your point of call to me. It's a very curated public image you have as an artist. But when you bring that to the radio station, like let's say you're going to have an interview, I'm not going to ask you that usual fluff. I'll speak about you differently. So people can understand the person behind the musician. I don't know if that makes sense to you.
So the role of radio has changed. That's what you're saying. It's slightly evolved.
It has pivoted.
It has
yes.
become a bit more complex. So
Exactly.
it's not just about, oh my God, I heard your song on the radio. From what you're saying.
It is nice to hear your song on the radio.
Yes,
though.
definitely. I would know. But it's not all that it is, right? Because now it provides an even bigger opportunity.
Yes.
So that has changed.
It has changed, yes.
Okay.
In that sense, yes. It has pivoted to that sort of humanizing, giving a voice to the person behind the music. People understand the person behind the musician, not just, that carefully curated image that you're selling.
So for the artists, the creatives, because part of what you do, you're storyteller. whether it's in terms of brands or whatever. So for the creatives, especially now that the role of the radio has sort of pivoted, how can you make them understand the importance of storytelling, and not necessarily just in terms of you've given your platform on radio, come tell us why you wrote this song, but the deeper context of storytelling and branding. What would you say to make them appreciate the importance of storytelling?
Well, first thing I would tell them, at least whenever I have an artist, for instance, coming for an interview, I always tell them, how are you going to differentiate yourself from everything else that's out there?
Yeah.
Because, and this is not to take anything away from Uganda musicians, but sometimes when you listen to a song, you can't tell who you're listening to. Because the music is very of the moment. And if it's the flavor of the month, everybody's going to do something in that line.
Yeah.
All right? No, not just that. Not just that. Well, but think about, let me use this example. If I played you a song by, I don't know, who is the emo chick of the moment right now?
Emo chick
of the moment.
Yeah, like the Lana Del Rey's and this. They have this breathy way that they all sing.
Yeah.
And if you're not keen, you wouldn't be able to tell a difference between them. All right?
Okay.
So people resonate with the song first more than the artist.
Yeah.
Radio gives you an opportunity to show them that there is substance behind the music.
Okay.
This music is coming from somewhere. All right. So they understand your motivations behind, doing a certain song, or motivations behind choosing a certain vixen for your video, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, your art is communicating something about you. We give you the chance to express what that was. From first principle, those who like math.
Why are you looking at me?
You're in finance. So
yeah, I also have a math degree. But
okay, what else? What else? You even have a couch. Tell us everything you have.
That's why you're always telling guys to send money to the Momo code.
yes,
624404.
Ooh, I knew I could count on you. Sorry.
Right.
Another one.
Right.
No, wow.
That's two.
I lost whatever because of that. Bring it back. Radio. Yes, this reminds me of something. What you've just said reminds me of something Ian has said before. At times we find that, like, the music ends up being bigger than the artist in a sense that, there's so many songs or so many things that people like or whatever, and they don't even know who it was. Forget just, knowing that it was that guy, but you don't know much more than that. But like sometimes we don't even know who it was, but everyone knows the song.
Yeah. I mean, remember back in the day how they'd have those sheets that they used to put across the road to advertise a show.
Yeah.
And then they would say, like, for instance, who? Jose Chameleon, Mamma Mia. Baby Cool, Fitina. You'd have to add the song, people know who you're talking about. So the song does carry a lot before people find out who it is.
Yeah. And I'm like, maybe, especially now in this era where, we're all seeing, before maybe we didn't have, but like in this era where we're all seeing and we're all listening, I feel like it's still an important thing and an important aspect that brings, that lets us know or lets us into the person that we're listening to and helps us connect deeper. And then you realize that even when we listen to new artists or whatever, there are those that still do the radio runs, and there's also a number that don't.
Yeah.
And somehow you can tell like the difference between the reception of those that do and those that don't. Like if I'm looking at young artists, I'll know that a Cohen, for instance, or we see a lot of the radio runs, and I feel like there's a way we react to his music, and there's a way, like, we know him and we say, that guy.
Because there's a story behind the music.
Yeah, he's like this.
Like he said, there's a certain element of storytelling. Like, it gives you the opportunity, because what helps us resonate with a particular artist? Birds.
Birds help us listen.
Well, that too.
Okay.
Back in the day, guys would be like, well, that's a dope video. Why? It had bumps. I'm sorry for swearing. Language.
Your age is showing.
But what I was saying, there's what helps you, what really makes you connect with an artist is how your stories intersect.
Yeah.
Like if you listen to a song and you like it, then you discover that the artist is a stammerer or was a stammerer back in the day. And you had issues of stammering as well. you're going to relate with that a very different way from the music.
Yeah.
Because that is instantly more relatable. You've humanized him in a way that he's a superstar, but he's one of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, cut him, he bleeds kind of thing. He's not just a symbol. He's a person. Radio gives you that opportunity.
Yeah. Now,
Kind of takes us back to what we talked about with PR, because like PR technically is storytelling.
It is. I mean,
You know,
media, if I was to condense it to its basest form, is storytelling.
Yeah.
it is storytelling. So,
Yeah.
and we've talked about it, like what more is there about an artist, like beyond your music or whatever, like what else is there about you? That's what's going to sell your music.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True. And especially in this day and age, how are you going to stand out from everybody else? Whatever other fluff is playing.
yeah.
How do you differentiate yourself? And that differentiator is your human side.
Yeah, but then wouldn't because now the conversation shifts because we see more than we listen these days. So now
Do we?
I think we
Okay,
do.
okay. You people of Uganda,
we see more than we hear.
You people of Uganda, Go on. Go on.
No. He does make a valid point. I mean, most people's first contact with anything media now is your phone. And
Okay.
everybody knows about the ubiquity of TikTok in this day and age.
Yeah.
Right. So you're just scrolling like that. It's visual. When you see something that you like, then you'll listen to it.
Yes.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now that we see more than we hear or listen, for creatives, whatever music, art, writer, whatever they do, now wouldn't the strategy have to change to as much as you're telling your story, putting yourself out there? Isn't it necessary for you to curate your social media to tell the story, not ignoring, but let's say I'm an introvert, but I want to be a singer, and I want to be out there. My social media should be singer and out there
Yes.
instead of introvert.
Yes.
But now the thing is, that's a thin line between I'm authentic and I'm putting up a show.
Yeah.
But now for you who's in media and who has these conversations beyond just radio, the circles you hang with, is it necessary to actually sacrifice who you are for the singer out there?
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
I mean, how many, for instance, YouTube channels do you know where it's faceless,
Several.
but you're still telling a story?
Yeah.
It's really about how do you use whatever it is that you have to push your image further.
But wait, if it's
One of the biggest singers of the last 15 years, give or take, is Sia. How many people have seen her face?
That's true.
We
Just
don't
the
get
You
hair.
don't
to
often
her.
see her face. You don't often see her face.
does she have a
Unless
face?
you're a super
Don't
fan.
see her.
Me, I know what she looks like.
But how many people have seen her face?
Yeah.
And as opposed to that being, I mean, like she's heavily introverted.
Yeah.
She's, as in, it's one of those ones of she even clams up.
Yeah. She doesn't do media.
She doesn't do media.
all.
And yet she has taken that beyond just a gimmick to showing people that, this is how I present myself. And they've taken her as that.
Daft Punk.
Nobody saw Daft Punk faces. There were guys with helmets.
Yeah. For like,
Jabberwockies.
yeah.
Right?
Enigma.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There you go.
There you go.
That's really fun. Yes, the answer was here.
But then wouldn't because now that means, especially in our context, because I struggle to, I know there's a certain DJ that tweeted about our music not being exportable and caused a whole lot of ruckus. But then
Did they lie?
50-50.
A lot of our
It's
music
neither
is,
here nor there.
yes, but you have to admit a lot of our music is insular, which is what the Nigerians were doing before. Because if you think about it, a lot of them, when they'd come here for shows, they'd be surprised that their music got here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Mr. What's his name? Mr. Flavor, the guy who did a show. He was very surprised. He said, "Man, guys, at the end of the day, I'm singing in my language, and my primary audience is in my region.
Yeah.
And for the Nigerians, that's a huge ass region.
Yes.
If you're singing just the people of Maiduguri, and there's 5 million in there, people are like, they're loving your music and everything. If those 5 million are giving you just like 10 naira each, how much is that?
It's a lot of money. Yeah.
So for them, the international fame was just a spillover because that's what they were doing originally. But then they understood the benefit of going continental and going global.
Yeah.
That's how there was a whole shift in what Afrobeats was. Our guys still are thinking that way, because if you think about it, copyright is not getting them much money, right? So how are they going to make their money? If I do 2 Kwanjulas a weekend, I have a Chidula, I do a show here and there, you make your money that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense for you to do music that's going to transcend boundaries, because even then, you will fly to Sweden to do a show at Gothenburg, where they'll collect the Ugandan community. Then you'll go to the UK, maybe perform at the Palladium or North Green or something. Go and
Go
do
to the
another
States
show.
and go to Boston.
Go to Una, do Boston. You know, go to the Middle East, Dubai, do something there. You know,
Dubai
so for them,
is Kampala
Kampala, what?
Pro Max.
Okay.
that wasn't me. But I'm writing that down. And then there were 4.
Oh my God. Oh, you had the third
So a
one.
lot of our guys don't think beyond the geographical boundaries of Uganda, which is okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you found your
It
audience
works.
and you resonated with it, or you found your tribe and you vibed with it, so to speak. That's
Mark right
minus
on
one.
your
Yeah.
list.
-1 for Mark. -1 for Mark. You infected me. Yes.
So, as much as I get your point, but you see, that DJ who said our music is not exportable was neither right or wrong.
Yes.
But again, here it becomes very difficult to play into the whole facelessness to build a brand. Because
People want to see you.
exactly.
Yes.
People want to see you. So
I feel like in this market, people like I might get cancelled for this.
No, you
No,
say
say
it.
it.
But I feel like
Speak your
people
truth.
want to be seen more than people want to see them.
Say it again for the guy at the back there.
No, I'm not repeating. But
you know,
you
you
get what I
know.
mean. Like, and I
don't
hate-
get it,
okay,
forget about
let me explain it this way,
Yeah.
right? Maybe to put some context. Like, someone has a hit song, great, we're loving the music, and for me, there are simple things like, fine, you go to a show, someone is 3 hours late because.
superstar.
Yeah, you get what I mean? Like that's the energy that they're giving. And I'm like, but we're here to see you and you're giving me like, you get what I mean? Eh?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like you want to be seen more than people want to see you.
That's just bad manners.
Yes, you're not taking the time to build
That's just bad manners.
Exactly, you're
I
not
mean,
taking the time to build the people wanting to see you. You're not committing to it.
because there's
And-
an absolute lack of strategy when it comes to most Ugandan musicians,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to their PR. And I'm sorry
Yeah.
to say that, but that's the truth.
It's yeah, you
Alright.
can tell.
Most of them rely on gimmicks.
Yeah.
Gimmicks that are going to inconvenience everybody, like stop traffic at a junction or something, or fake beef, right? But you have to remember something. Is that a creation of the artist, or is that them pivoting to what the audience wants to see? I always say there's always an audience for everything.
Yes.
So what you might not like, that's working for them because they've identified an audience
That
wa-
actually likes it. That's true.
and will pay for it.
That's true.
Right? Guys are talking about how the most recent one, Sheba and Cindy,
Yes.
going at each other. But my thought was, you can't come after them because that reeks of patriarchy. Because if anything, Palazzo and Alien Skin showed the commercial benefit of having beef.
Right,
Yes,
right.
yes.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true.
Because they understand the audience that they're speaking to. Damsey likes to talk about Kampala A and Kampala B and Kampala C.
I don't like. Abasa told us. Go on.
Yeah.
Yes, Abasa told us. The record label, head of record label.
If you're going to be very honest, the C's and D's are the biggest part
In terms of numbers,
in terms of numbers.
Yeah.
not in terms of revenue.
Strength in numbers.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
You're going to do a show at, say, at the Serena. All right? Your ticket is 100,000.
Yes.
You get 2,000 people. Quick math. How many is that?
A lot.
Today is the day you decide to be daft.
That's 200 million, right? You have 100,000, you get 2,000 people, that's about 200 million,
Yes.
right? You go to Lugogo,
Yes.
you get 10,000 people,
Yes. And 5K.
and they're giving you 20,000 each,
Yeah.
or even just 30,000 each. You've made 300 pieces,
Yes.
you see? So they understand their audience, and they understand that audience is going to fight for you, and they will come, they will spend their... There's that video that was going around. Some guy was singing a song by no, not to Agas. There's that guy. What is this guy? The guy was singing a song, and he was really in his fields. I think it was who was that?
Oh, it was at a concert.
It was a contest. You Kampala guys go and sit and demand to be entertained.
Yeah.
The guy is going to come and be in the show. He's going to sing more than the artist.
Mama, Kampala
So
can even boo you.
when they land on that audience and they understand how to, because it doesn't take much to excite that audience.
Yeah.
So they're going to be in that, and they're going to. That's them. That's them. So for them it's a strategy.
Yeah.
You know, for lack of a better
But
word.
I don't think it's a thought out strategy.
No,
that's normally
it
the
depends,
issue.
Damzi, like,
For some it is, but like many times you see that it is not a thought out strategy.
and that's the thing. Like,
Why? Because they are doing it like everybody else. There's so much replication and copycatting.
not necessarily.
Maybe that in itself is
Is
a
a
strategy.
strategy.
Exactly. It's well thought out. It worked for this person. Let me also
Let
do
me
it.
try.
Yeah.
No, there are those who do that. There are those who first of all come up with theirs, and there are those who say, "Okay, this one worked. Let me do that." But then there's also a lot of, like Damzi says, vibes and inshallah. There's a lot of those ones who are just like, as long as I do, and that maybe applies more to our, let me say, urban artists, where I'm a good singer. I have a good voice, or I rap well, and we think it's enough. When really it's not, and there's a lot that you have to do behind
there is.
and beyond
There
the
is.
music. And
What did the pastor say? There's music, and then there's the business of music.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
But how many people have the patience to grow an audience that way?
yeah. It's
But do you feel like
There's a level
the
of consistency
audience.
that you require to build an
Yes.
audience like that.
Yes.
As opposed to coming and just piggybacking off an already established audience,
Yeah.
which demands things or wants things done a certain way.
Yeah.
Not many guys have the patience to do that.
Yeah.
All right. To actually curate their journey that way. Right. So if you look like, say, for lack of a better example, I'll say like a Joshua Baraka.
yes.
Yeah.
Right. There's an organic growth that is just welcome.
Yes.
And it's really nice to see. As opposed to everybody else who is coming and you can see they have templated it off whichever artist of the last 6 months, whether it was Lydia Jasmine or Spice Line or something. You can see they're really just like what's her name? When Pinky came out and everybody said, "Oh man, that's just a Shiba clone."
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see? So you're riding on a template that already worked before. But how many artists have the patience, and not just the patience, but the resilience to bank on their art to grow them that audience? That will inform your strategy.
Yeah. But do you feel like the audience, not to make this political in any way, but the way they say our leaders are it's you that actually said it on radio one morning. Our leaders are a reflection of us as a society.
Let me rephrase. Our MPs are a reflection of who we are as an electorate.
Yes.
But the best reflection of a society is its children. Because children are the ones who learn the most by observing. Who are the children trying to be like right now?
Food for thought.
Yeah. There was a time 3 or 4 years ago where every rapper was trying to be like Fik for Maker.
That's true.
Yeah.
But you were saying?
So every kid was dancing that Eddie Kenzo thing.
Exactly.
Stamina, that
Exactly.
stamina. Oh my
Exactly.
God! Every
Then
birthday
now we have
party,
been-
every.
But you see, that child, that wave is the next wave.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
That's the thing. They are the next wave. Right? Think about it.
So do you feel like the audience, in terms of looking at all these antics that our musicians do and whatever strategies they make or don't make, do you feel like the audience and the way we receive them, the expectations we have for them, are the reason they end up doing that?
Well, I mean, ultimately, no one wants to be a starving artist.
Yeah.
All right. So the audience does create the artist in a way. All right. So the supply creates its own demand sort of thing. You know, it's one of those chicken and egg type of things.
Yeah.
But again, it goes back to who are you and what do you want to do? How do you want to be remembered? So many people who are thinking legacy are thinking a certain way, regardless of how the audience is demanding for, the common saying is kapiachi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that, while it can help the creative process, sometimes it also hinders it. Because you feel you're under constant pressure to put something out, lest you become irrelevant. I'll give you a good example. How many people had Love Nwantiti in 2018?
Yeah, I don't remember when I heard it, but
You had it when it entered the countdown, it actually hit the 80-40 countdown at the end of 2021.
Really?
American Top 40 countdown.
I
End of
didn't
year.
know that. It's a 2018 song.
It's a 2018, late 2018, early 2019, right?
I didn't know that.
And that was a song that it came back into the public conscience because of social media, a TikTok challenge. So a lot of artists nowadays are making songs with that in mind.
With TikTok in mind.
Right? With TikTok and social media and, make a challenge, get that bite. And that's why songs are getting shorter and shorter. Just to get that one crazy hook that's going to carry and people are going to do a challenge to it. As opposed to doing music that is, that has staying power. Right? But that's the time that we live in. Right? So again, that informs their strategy. And again, nobody wants to be a starving artist. So yes, you create the audience, but once you've taught the audience what you can do, that's what they'll expect from you.
Yeah.
And they'll want that over and over. How many guys are complaining, another remix to Nana? Yeah. But the song it's been 3 months. Give us another one. Yeah. They don't understand the strategy that he is taking.
Yeah.
Because you've been spoiled by other artists who just keep churning out whether or not it has staying power or not.
Yeah.
Right?
Actually, that Nana conversation was getting a bit... some people are just being spiteful.
Yes, they were.
No, but it's also there's the people who move with what's happening now. Like, if everyone is complaining about this, let me also show that I'm with the people. Let's also go play, even if they don't give any things about it. Even if they won't listen to that next song they're asking for, it's just that they know everyone is asking for it. Yeah. But let's take away from that. You've mentioned starving artists more than once, and I remembered how you've never been this hungry in your life. And I just want to ask, like, when you tweet about that hunger, like, what is, you tell us, like, I don't know, like, where are you, like, mentally? Is it real hunger or, like, what is happening?
Probably not going to believe this. But I'm actually quite hungry when I tweet that. like for real.
No, I believe it because...
I sit there and I realize I have not eaten for a few hours.
Then you're like, you've never
I've never been this hungry in my life. Therefore, I must find sustenance because this mortal form grows weary.
You annoy me.
Don't be annoyed.
I actually believe because I really be wanting them chicken wings, so I cannot even complain because...
Yeah, so hungry people in that sense.
Hey, please, let's be guided. But also, there's a lot of stuff you say, and I don't know, the man behind the music, and this is not music, but man behind what is Rudende? You many things. But man behind the Rudende. Anyway, there's a lot of stuff that seems very random that you happen to know. Not seems, it's random. I've been like, where guys are like doing like charades or whatever, and Rudende's like, the line back for Wales in 1978. I'm like, what the hell? What do you mean? What is going on there? So where does this come
randomness
from?
come from?
Okay. Growing up, there was a point in my life where I was a nerd, like a proper nerd, and so I read a lot, a lot, not just books of school and everything, but anytime there would be something, you just read it. A random sign on an air freshener while you're taking a dump, you read it. You read the can. You read the newspapers, you read the almanac, encyclopedias, everything. So you just devour knowledge. And I've always been asked, but for what?
What purpose?
Because one day it will be useful. You'll be in a pub quiz and they'll ask a question that will be the difference between winning and losing. And you'll have the answer. But also because if you're not reading, then what are you doing?
Especially back then.
The quest of man should be to pursue knowledge. You get knowledge through reading.
So you are those people where if you're doing number 2, you read.
He literally said he was reading the air.
No, I want to argue about something. You said rugby is the greatest sport.
Oh, I saw that.
No, it isn't.
Why?
You're going to say what?
I'd like to raise you Formula 1.
First of all, driving cars, I'm going to fight you.
Why?
No, absolutely no.
No, because again,
it's not rugby, but it's definitely not Formula 1.
You are definitely the type of person that knows enough about rugby, too much about Formula 1, too much about soccer and basketball and everything. So I think Formula 1 is the greatest sport.
What's your argument?
I don't
Just
think
say
so.
it.
I don't
I feel
think so.
like this is not even an argument. This
Rugby-
is like
Here's why. Here's why I don't think so.
Yeah.
Rugby is the ultimate team sport. For you to progress that ball 80 meters into the other try box, all the way from your 22 to their try box.
I don't even know what that means.
You
It
just
takes a team
allow.
effort. There's no such thing as you shine
We'll call
alone,
you.
right? It is the team effort.
But even Formula One.
I give the ball to the prop who is going to crash up. The scrum half pops it past the first man to the second man who takes the crash into the gap, loops it over to the center, who gives it to the wing, and the guy goes. We all have a role to play in rugby.
I feel like you've sidestepped
The
Ian.
problem I have with Formula One is the problem I have with Formula One is I can't even consider it a sport because there are too many variables
I
involved.
agree.
If the humidity is off that day, the air pressure, the guy ate one more sandwich than usual, so he's heavier in the car. There are just too many variables involved for me to think of it as a sport. For me, a sport is human endeavor. It's effort. It's you understanding that, you know what, I'm going to make, that inch is up to me. It's not the car.
No,
it's
but-
me.
The engineers, the way they set up the cars.
Like I
on the
said,
race weekend.
it's
not
too many
human.
variables involved.
Yeah.
If I come
Human,
into the
the guy-
pit lane, and the guy who is putting the third nut on the back left wheel is slow by 1 second,
Pause.
we've lost the race.
Yeah.
There's just too many variables involved. That, for me, I mean, it's entertaining to watch. Great. But I can't even... A sport has to be contact for me.
But rugby.
Bambi, Ian, the one thing
You get it. As in, like, there's no comeback. There's no addition. The end. The end.
But that's just me. You like Formula One? Do you, man?
No, you see, like I said, I don't know enough about rugby to counter that. But I've tried to watch rugby.
But you
and
wanted to argue.
You tried to watch rugby and you,
About argument.
all you saw was guys falling on each other.
What are these guys doing?
Falling on each other and stuff. No,
Why are you
man.
hitting your friend like that?
It's
What has this guy done to you?
it is organized violence. Organized violence.
So why did you
It's
stop
a-
playing?
Old age. I'm sorry.
Among other things, yes, but pretty nasty knee injury.
See?
You can die in a Formula One car.
I wasn't going to point that out, but yes, Jules Bianchi,
Yeah.
Ayrton Senna.
I don't know who those
The list-
are.
There
but
go the
yes.
fact.
He knows.
See?
He knows.
See? Does he though? Because that is exactly what I was saying. The man's
I mean, every sport has the very likelihood.
Yeah.
Like, you go into it knowing that the next
Yeah.
tackle could be career ending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Football,
Unless you're playing like table tennis.
you could like sprain your overstretch your sciatic nerve or something. I don't know.
Okay. I want to sort of bring us back in. Those who don't know, Rudende is a strategic communicator. So media, PR, that's your day job after you finish lying to us on the radio.
Storytelling.
Storytelling,
Yes.
basically.
After you finished other stories.
I mean, because we are a platform that really speaks a lot to creatives, we've talked about PR a couple of times, but from your perspective, like, if you were to give maybe 3 key nuggets to a creative in terms of how they can use storytelling, what are the 3 things you would tell? Because at least I want someone to take 3 things away from this, you know?
1, you've got to be deliberate about it.
It can't just be fwa.
It can't just be
Intentionality.
intentionality. There's got to be a strategy behind it. At the end of the day, and a lot of people, let me use an example of when people ask me, they want to get into radio.
Yeah.
I always say there are 2 ways of doing radio.
Uh-huh.
1, I can make radio. I can do radio that I want Ian to listen to.
Okay.
Or I can do radio that Ian wants to listen to. The 2 are not the same thing.
Okay.
Have the end user in mind. Right. If they were to never listen to music again, what's the one thing you'd want them to remember about you? And that will inform your strategy.
Yeah.
Right? You've got to be deliberate about it. You said how many?
3.
Three.
Just 3. You only.
Okay.
Yeah.
So be deliberate. 2, be yourself. Originality makes a personality. And that's how you're going to stand out from everybody else. Right? Don't just don't conform.
What is this? What is?
This is going with the flow.
Okay.
But this is going against
For
the tide.
clarification.
This is going against the tide. The problem with that is it demands delayed gratification.
Yeah.
And many people in this time
want
now,
it now.
they have the
Instant
mindset of
gratification,
Kagwira.
Yeah.
But if you put in the work, down the line, people will appreciate why you were doing what you were doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And number 3, be consistent.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to be consistent. So be deliberate, be original, and be consistent.
But it's hard to be consistent in this market without some money.
But I just want to say
I don't agree with that.
No,
I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't agree either.
I don't
Yeah.
agree with that because we're not in the days of the payola of back in the day where you'd have to pay somebody to do an interview
Yeah.
on TV or pay somebody to play your music on radio. No. Your phone democratized that process.
But even the creation part, creating whatever art you're trying to be consistent with, it requires some bit of money.
No, it requires effort and you putting in your time.
Because I feel like some of these guys give up when you've utilized the available resources and nothing comes of
Right,
it.
if
And
you-
you're like, you know what?
I
If
still-
you're
I still-
trying to
I still
drop
don't
an
agree with
EP
that.
every
No,
3
no.
months, then that's
I don't agree with
on
that.
you. Do you get what I'm saying?
Most of them
You're
give
not
up.
finishing your money.
Most of them give up when they don't get the reaction that they're looking for.
Yeah.
But a reaction can only be gotten once you teach your audience.
Yeah.
Somebody will put up a video and it will get less than 200 views.
Yeah.
And they'll wonder why somebody who is doing something so baseless is getting 1 million views. But you know what you're trying to do. Stick with it. You will get there.
I agree. I mean, I've seen a couple of interviews done by different influencers in Nairobi. And you know, the influencer market in Nairobi is huge.
Very different.
We have seen like Nairobi, like people from Nairobi, Kenyan influencers really blow up. Some of us follow them and sometimes don't know half the things they're saying. And I've seen some of them talk about it. There's a specific, I don't remember his name, but he said he did content for 2 years and he wasn't really getting the views he wanted. But the fact that he kept doing it consistently, now he's literally, every brand is looking for him.
Can I use an example from right here?
Yeah.
Anne Kansime. Anne Kansime consistently put out her comedy clips and wasn't getting the traction here. She was huge in Zambia, huge in Malawi, huge elsewhere, as far as Liberia. And then suddenly it hit us. Hey, Bananga, she's been around all this time. But she stayed the course.
Yeah.
Because she understood. And it was something that she was doing. She was being true to herself.
That's true.
She wasn't trying to be somebody else. And it paid off.
Do you think we're a difficult audience as Ugandans?
I think we are.
Because I feel like a lot of us have the same story. What, I did my thing, other people liked, but you people here, you're the problem. So do you think we're a difficult audience as Ugandans? Or what would you say is our problem? Just is over.
You see his console right there where he's controlling the sound. How does he control the sound?
By
Pushes
pressing the
buttons.
button.
Not the buttons. What are those things that he slides?
The things.
The sliders. They go from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a process. It's not just a switch.
Okay.
You can't go into it thinking that it's a switch. It's like that. So it's gradual. A lot of us don't stay the course.
Yeah.
Okay.
To turn the audience your way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Patience. But then again, people have the patience. When you get into this thing, you're expecting instant gratification.
No, but I think we are a difficult audience. If for Kansime, we had to be like, hey, Zambia, Malawi, oh my God, she's one of us. Because even for Joshua Baraka, for Nana, when it began climbing the Apple charts, even outside just our region, you're like, oh, even in Kenya, we are number 16. Oh, in this country, we are number 20-something. Guys are like, huh? This is our guy. Like, oh, this is our guy. Let's stream this thing.
By the way, this is our guy.
Yeah, like,
now the statement changes.
So somehow it has to be when you've sort of escaped our kababo. Because I remember in high school,
Here we go
Navio.
again.
I was such a Navio fan and I was always on about Navio, but guys didn't care. But then he did, I don't remember what collabo it was, with an artist outside our region. When guys are like, oh wait,
That's our guy.
This Navio guy is
Our
on
guy.
this. And I'm like, but he has been here for a minute. Like that do they have to first cross our borders for us to
want the
Yeah.
But
yeah.
you've inadvertently answered yourself, because our audience, if you think about it, our audience in Uganda is basically pockets of echo chambers. So because we're around like-minded people and we're talking about the same things all the time, we're influencing each other to listen to what we are listening to.
Yes.
It's when you step out of that echo chamber, out of that comfort zone, so to speak, that you learn about other things. Right? And then you bring the word back to your people. So you are the lone voice in the desert. But you John the Baptist to those guys.
I did.
Well done on it.
I did.
Well done on it. They saw the light.
That's why I have a stage seat on 20 Years of Navi. I'm not even in the audience. I'll be sitting on stage.
Must that always be the way things are done here? You get what I mean? Must there always be a John the Baptist moment or a, you know, I parted the Red Sea type of moment? You get what I mean? Yeah. It's like we, as an audience in general, even when it comes to sports, even when it comes to, you know, the netball team will be in the World Cup. If they're not doing well, no one gives a damn. But oh my God, they won, they beat I don't know who. Now that's when we start putting on our jerseys and remembering that we're Uganda. Do you get what I mean? It's like we,
as opposed to the Kenyans who are proud of their people.
Regardless of where.
Bongo, they are proud of their people.
Yes, regardless of what they're doing or where they are. It's like first, we want you to first show us that you're great. Then we shall come. I don't know. It's terrible.
Food for thought.
Yeah, food for thought, guys. Be better.
Do better.
Be better. Even when we're the last supporter.
There's just like some consistent people out there. Even someone who sent some good something. So I just want to say thank you to the people who sent some money. And like Rudende said, if you want to join them in supporting the podcast and supporting the work we do at the tribe, send some money to 624404. That's 624404. There's someone, I don't know, we don't know where they came from, but there's someone who sent some money this week. And I hope they'll be consistent as well. No, there's no dry joke coming.
Just had to be sure.
I hope they'll be consistent because we can build something from that.
And you guys are doing great.
Thank you very much.
Well done, please.
Thank you very much.
I should tell Felix in Nairobi to increase the benefits.
There's something I want to talk about before we pivot to something else. You have quite the following on social media and tend to be quite vocal about things that matter to you.
I do.
Yes. Okay. But there's something that you consistently talk about called the attention economy. What you have regarded as the attention economy, right? And this kind of speaks back to what we were talking about, strategic comms versus just seeking that attention economy. First of all, what do you consider the attention economy? Just for people who don't know, and kind of, you know, how much is it plaguing us as Ugandans?
The attention economy is what we're living in right now.
Yeah.
All right. It's all about eyeballs and ears.
Yeah.
All right. But the thing about it is, especially when I'll give an example of I'm going to give away my age. Twitter, now X. A view is a view, a like is a like. And a view could come from an avid fan, it could come from a deranged critic, it could come from a troll. A view is a view. That's what I mean by the attention economy. Right? So technically, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
So you tweet like this.
And Elon Musk has given you a way to monetize that. So it doesn't matter whether it came from, like I said, your fan or your foe. A view is a view. We're in the attention economy right now. Right?
But is that a good thing?
It is. And it's also not a good thing. Because with the attention economy, what's going to take eyeballs now, people are already talking about it, how the stuff that really matters, smell that.
Focus.
Spicy chicken.
the stuff that really matters gets shunted to the back pages because the fluff is what is being being pedestaled, so to speak. Right? But it does give someone the opportunity to stand out for the right reasons as opposed to the wrong reasons, does it not?
Does it?
Because there's only so much negativity people can take. Right? At one point, they're going to say, okay, what else is out there? And if you've positioned yourself to be the thing that is out there, the else that is out there, won't that make sense for you eventually down the line? You see? And also, it also gives people the opportunity because at one point, people are going to realize, if I don't like it, I don't have to react to it. I can ignore it.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it critically, we, the audience, are the ones who give the power to whatever it is.
Whatever nonsense is.
Religious fundamentalists, trolls, vapid, whatever it is. If you take that power away from them, what do they have? Nothing. So there will be a point where that audience stands. But as it is right now in the attention economy, bad publicity is still publicity, regardless. You can't differentiate. You can't say some guy was liking you or he was downvoting you with extreme prejudice. No. The algorithm will just upshoot your content.
Yeah, but I've had a conversation with someone before. Someone told me they were depressed. They're a creator. And then I asked them why. And they said two things. One, they're putting out content and it's not getting the attention it needs. Two, he's seeing others who are doing almost what he's doing succeed. And then I told him to sort of gauge the success and failure outside social media for a moment. Because I told him the issue I have with social media is you fail in public, you succeed in public. But sometimes that takes away from the actual small progress you may be making outside the fluff that's on social media.
The real progress.
Yes. But then he told me that unfortunately for him, he does not have the luxury to not consider failing or succeeding on social media. And he wished there was a way they could measure the success outside social media, but that traditional kind of media is dead. Because it's not as if an article in newspapers will not get you, okay, it might, but will not get you the reach a blog post
It might actually get you the reach, but you just won't feel it as instantly as you'd feel the social media one. Do you get what I mean?
I think he needs to have a honest conversation with himself and define what success looks like to him.
Yeah.
All right.
That's what I was going to ask. As defined by who?
Because you're thinking about it, he's probably thinking about it from other people's parameters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But isn't that inevitable these days?
Yes, I understand. Yes, it is. But why put yourself under that pressure? You see, because you're trying to conform to a standard that you have no control over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't win.
The only thing you can control is how you put out your art. Ultimately, you can't control how it is received. And if you are firm in the knowledge that you put your best into it, that in itself is success.
So how would you, if a creator brought something to you and they needed feedback, what do you find more constructive? Be blunt, tell them, no, this is rubbish, you need to change A, B, C, D. Or find a way to tell them, but jump as many hoops as possible.
I think that by the time you put yourself, you see, that's like when you put yourself out there, you can't determine how people are going to receive you.
Yes.
All right?
Yeah.
So you have no control over that. If you didn't want to be critiqued,
don't put
anything out there. Don't do anything. All right?
Right.
And if you understand that I'm telling you from the place of I'm telling you how I think you can do better, you will not see it any other way. You wouldn't be offended by that, would you?
No.
Yeah.
I think
there's got to be a level of honesty with yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Right? So many people put out stuff on the socials, and the people who are your friends, quote unquote.
Yeah.
They're hyping you, they're hyping you.
Group.
And then somebody tells you, maybe you could have color graded this better. You're a hater. No, I'm not. Right? We all have opinions.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, if you could, so try to think within what he has told me or what they have told me, is there sense?
Okay.
Let me try it that way. Does it make sense? Because at the end of the day,
but the issue
as humans,
some of these creatives have is, you don't know how much time I invested. You don't know how much money I've invested in this thing. Who are you to come and tell me it's not good enough? So you're like, is it about the investment? Is it about the feedback I'm giving you?
That's
because we've faced it on this. I have faced it on this podcast where they're like, no, your tone was not friendly, but bad food is bad food regardless of how.
No, but
yeah, we've spoken to the art.
Like Rudende said, we're not taught how to deal with the stuff that's maybe not just even negative, but just not our way. I'll give an example of something we saw this week. I remember we were watching the video of Isabel Yuji and Kenneth Mugabe. Great song, first of all. So, we saw her perform it live the other week, so it's back in rotation, you know. And so we're watching the video, and in the comments, someone, please, this dry joke is not mine, so first of all, but in the comments, someone wrote, oh my God, when I've always been a Kenneth Mugabe fan, but after listening to this song, I'm now an air conditioner. But okay.
If you ever said anything like that, I would kick you in the
No,
nuts.
but
Go on.
But like as the person says that, they're basically just saying, listen, I liked Kenneth Mugabe before, but now I like him
Yeah,
even
a
more.
lot
Yeah.
more.
This is not a negative comment with regard to Isabel. It's just, oh my God, what Kenneth did, I liked it. It made me like him more.
Yeah.
Someone replies, but Kenneth is not the main act of this song. The main act is Isabel, please.
You're not going
I'm
to.
like-
You can't determine how it will be received.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
If you are firm in the knowledge that I meant it this way,
yeah.
how you understand it? That's on you.
That's
People
and I
have-
like that the person didn't come back to go back and forth with this. But
And
it's just
you
quite
can't.
interesting how
A lot of that
Yeah.
stems from a lot of that back and forth stems from people having main character syndrome, forgetting that each of us is as an individual
Is a main character.
not just a main character, but is a complex human being. Complex human being, all from different contexts. You see,
yeah.
and it'd be just too much work for you to try and curate everything and have a reply for everybody that will cover every single context.
Yeah, it's not possible.
Say your truth with your chest. Let it be
Yeah.
finished.
No, but now, you know,
Ian is cooking something. This
This is the Simon Cowell of the
We
group,
know,
by
we
the
know
way.
I would never have guessed
You
that.
never have guessed, but this is Simon Cowell of the group, yeah.
you know, sometimes,
Where's coming from?
sometimes I feel like the best way to help someone grow, you just take off the band-aid.
Tough love.
Tough love. But also, sometimes tough love has consequences.
Oh, definitely.
And you know, someone like me, I'm a small guy. I'm going to say something, and main character artist will take it a certain way and want to
Stalk you on your way home.
react. And you see, I can't fight physically, but I can fight with words. But sometimes I have to refrain, yet even in the whatever feedback in my response,
Where are
I'll
you
drop
going
some
to
nuggets
refrain?
of wisdom. But from what you've said, I think I'm more willing to fight now. Because
You see,
it's not about how you take it.
True. But it may also be the setting in which you tell this person. If you call them aside for one-on-one and tell them, this is just what I'm saying, and this is my honest opinion.
Yeah, it's easier to get beaten one-on-one.
Like I said, it is how you deliver it.
Delivery matters.
I'm very sure, I'm almost 100% certain that they would appreciate a candid conversation like that. If you said it out in the open, guys would be like, that's an attack on his character.
No, but you see, let me give an
So
example.
people naturally get defensive.
Yeah, but let me give an example. If an artist released a song and for some reason the lyrics were a bit rubbish,
In your opinion.
in my opinion, and I say it's a nice song, but I feel like they could have changed ABCD. And the artist comes and says, yeah, but what do you know about writing? It's not. But I said the song was nice. But I said only that this part could have used a bit of tweaking.
Which again goes back to, you guys know the story of the blind man and the elephant, huh?
No.
Don't.
So 6 blind men went to see an elephant.
As you know, they blind mice.
Children. 6 blind men went to see an elephant. Now, of course, because they're blind, the only way they could interact with the elephant was by touching it. So one touched the trunk, tusk, leg, side, tail, and ear. Depending on where they touched, they thought that the elephant was like a spear, a snake, a tree, a wall, a fan, and a whip.
Okay.
In and of themselves, they were right.
Yes.
But they did not see the bigger picture. And because we do not see the bigger picture, we default to absolutism.
Yeah.
What we see is the big, we feel that is it. It is absolute. It is only when we understand that I am just seeing a small part of the bigger picture, and somebody else's perspective could inform my own perspective to grow or even maybe pivot. Then we move forward as a society.
So what?
Don't have main character syndrome.
That's the summary.
That's the summary.
The elephant had confused Ian.
Ian struggling. But don't have main character syndrome. Ian, do not go and start cornering because they'll beat you and none of us. Me, I can't help you. Maybe Mark, but me, I can't help you.
but
I won't.
still,
Me,
if you spoke about, if like I said, if you have a candid conversation with them,
Yeah.
one-on-one, and tell them, I liked the song, but I feel like if you had done this, maybe it would have been a different song.
Yeah.
But given the
They would
platform,
appreciate the. It also depends on how you tell them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it was an artist who is discerning and wants to grow their craft, who's to say that they don't take that on board and do a remix?
Or
Okay.
do better. I
No,
mean, the delivery, but also how it's received,
No,
which you don't have control over.
So what if I
Yeah.
put a disclaimer before?
Doesn't
Every-
matter. It doesn't matter.
You're so,
Then there's no black eye.
Anywho.
But before we get, no, we've already gotten. I want to bring us back a bit, get us to some music or something, and I want us to take a trip together to whatever memory comes to mind. I need you guys to tell me a song that takes you back to a certain place, person, space, moment, whatever. A throwback song, basically, a Ugandan song that
Ugandan
takes you back
song.
to a certain moment, something. Someone.
There's a lot of great Ugandan music. People on this podcast have mentioned Jim by Africa quite a bit. But there's a song, and this is a song that I first heard when we moved back to Uganda, because I grew up elsewhere, and then we came back to Uganda. And on the first wedding I attended,
You said one side.
you were born in Dar es Salaam, my
Are
dear.
you shut up?
Oh,
That's still Africa.
hard on the pole.
Going
the
on.
the first Ugandan wedding I ever attended when we came back, and I was a child then. There's a song that my mom and her sisters and cousins were dancing to with the bride. The song by John Kahwa called Purikeria. The Batora know what I'm talking about. So that takes me back to a place, the very first time that I saw a proper African wedding. People were dancing. And if you know how the Batora dance, it's a dance called Amakondere. It's a nice, slow, graceful dance. So they were all doing that. So that's a Ugandan song
I think
that
we're going to
has...
put it in the
We have
description
man.
because
going to look
Yeah.
for it.
yeah,
Damzi?
even us,
John
we
Kahwa.
can't.
Even now we have to
can't.
Google.
John Kahwa, a legend. You guys have heard John Kahwa. Do people know John Kahwa?
Okay,
John Kahwa. Song is called Purikeria.
cool.
I don't see you guys writing behind the scenes.
It's a great song.
I
It's
see
a
our
great song.
audience of the day. There's a gentleman in the back writing. I hope that's what he's writing on his phone. Damzi, a song for you?
And you can't say Jim.
No. We already said Jim. Where you are? Yes, called Where You Are, Blue 3. And that was such a good
That's a
song.
tune.
Like, that was such a good song. I don't remember what I was doing, but like every time that song plays, it gives me warm, fuzzy feelings because I really used to like it a lot. Like,
That's a
it's
tune.
still such a bop. Yeah.
That's a tune.
Ian, sir.
Ian, what traffic song was it this time?
This wasn't traffic.
Traffic, Formula One, Obamichi.
You know, before, this is weird. Before I attempted to rap, I tried to dance. But at home, not in public. At home, not in public. My sisters will remember this.
We're going to cut that out, right?
Oh my God.
My sisters will remember this. Back in the day, there was a Michael Ross song called Senorita.
Oh,
Yes.
Lord.
And whenever it would play on TV, those days of UTV, whatever the TV was, I'd go run, get my school shoes, and put them on so that I tried to do his dance moves.
You could only do it in the school shoes.
No, school
you see,
shoes.
sports shoes have grip. They're too grippy.
Yeah.
So those shoes, just...
The butter shoes,
Yeah.
you can slide around.
slide a bit.
Yeah. So whenever
I
it's
remember that one. The shoes, not the song.
Wait, next episode, come with your shoes.
I know. You need to show. We need to. You need to sample us.
One time.
They probably still fit.
what?
It's Mark who said
said it
it,
out
not
loud. I
me.
thought I was inside
Me, I was
the-
just resounding it for you to hear properly. Mark is said it. I was just relaying the
It wasn't me.
information.
But
So 5 or 6, huh?
Yeah. You, Mark, tell us what song.
for this song, I think I need Rudende's infinite wisdom and knowledge and memory. So there's a song.
Yeah.
I first heard it way back when in the car with my sis.
When you came
and
back,
we
eh?
died. When I came back. No, this was actually before we went. But anyway, the song it was funny for me at the time because I had just eaten chicken and chips. And I believe that should already be the
yes.
What do you eat?
Rudende.
Yes.
Exactly. So
That's a big tune.
The funniest thing about it is because I was listening and whatever, I didn't know the title or who sang it.
Yes.
But over the years, I have enjoyed that song thoroughly. And
Yes.
every time I lose it, I reach out to, that's why I said he will know. I reach out to Rudende every
That's
couple of years and say, "Gwe, first send me the other song."
It's a great song.
Because sometimes I eat the river.
That song is called Apoli. It's by Johnny B. Otim, the late great Johnny B. Otim. But there's a remix of Apoli by actually rapper Lobby.
Guys, right. We need to
I
find.
know that one I have it. I'll send it in the WhatsApp group.
Oh.
Like
Okay.
people will send
Okay.
what those people should do with their music.
Okay, so
But Apoli is
Apol,
it's
what
a
a song, guys.
legendary jam. It's
Great.
about 24 years old, yeah. Classic. For
that
the
song
people,
is older than
for the people who are
some of our audience.
the people who understand that Leblango is the lifestyle.
Okay, so in Felix's absence,
Yeah.
I'm going to do the lyrics game.
Hiya.
Nakei Nairobi.
No, not yet,
Oh,
not
sorry.
yet, not yet.
I'm singing for Felix, who is in Nairobi.
Hey, okay. So I'm going to do the lyrics game, and yeah, if you fail, you know the rules. If you fail to guess the song and the artist, you are going to give us what? Money.
10K,
have changed.
10K to 624404.
That is it.
Guys,
That
I'm
is
on leave today. We got-
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Are we?
You? I
Mukama.
don't care. Okay, so wano omubimba gufuse n'omubimba emmakere babuse n'ebitimba abafumbo bayize n'okulimba.
Sunda, Bobby Wine, and Zigidi.
Is it the one?
Collecting my Luganda, the answer is already there.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
Is that correct?
That is
Okay.
correct.
You message Felix on Zoom. They've got the right one.
So Felix should send some company. Because that's the rule.
But that's a big tune, guys.
It is a big tune.
Bemba gufusa mubemba emakere bayisene bitimba abafumba waize okulimba sababimba kubya babimba sunda mami kakugambye tisudde
Oh my God,
buto
but this-
tuli
okay.
wakati
Wakati.
Wanza.
Okay, so this one is the second one is for everyone.
No,
The first one was for me.
No, I thought the first one would be hard, but I've been embarrassed. So anyway, the second one is for everyone. Girl, you're a killer. Like
Like shots of tequila.
Artist and song. Artist and song.
Whistle song, that's Rabadaba.
Yes. Yes.
Locomotive.
Yes.
Locomotive.
That's what I was looking for.
In parentheses, the whistle song.
That's what I was looking
Rabadaba.
for. Locomotive is what I was looking for.
Singa nali mpologoma wandindiri somudo.
My God.
But do you guys do you guys realize that there's a point in our time where Rabadaba had Kampala and the
Listen.
pants behind like so?
Listen.
Let me tell you, if you make a list of the top 5 greatest Ugandan songs and you don't put Mwami Sentema, I can't take you seriously. Bambera musite daire.
Man,
Rabadaba
Can
had
that be my
at some
song?
point
Can that be my song of the
Bambi.
week?
take it back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Insert it.
At the Kampala
Overdub.
Okay, last one before I start asking my questions. Siri wa muzanyo okuva ku mutwe paka mu socks nkwetegekedde empanga nkwesunze nga check mu banka ng'amazzi mu tanka nkulukuta only ng'onneetaaga.
That's a GNL line.
No.
Like behind the scenes, people are happy that he has
Sounds
finally
like a
failed.
GNL line.
No.
Wait, it's a female artist, right?
Is it?
It's a female artist.
Is it?
I
Okay,
think
yes,
so.
it is.
It's a female. It's either it's Cindy, right?
What song?
Cindy. The song was repeat.
Let's collect my
Hey, pass repeat.
Wait, you know
yes.
like me not like
No.
you.
No.
Siri wa muzanyo okuva ku mutwe paka mu socks nkwetegekedde empanga nkwesunze nga cheki mu banka ng'amazzi mu tanka nkulukuta only ng'onneetaaga.
Oh no.
I tell this one, if I was on the receiving end, today was my day. Today, because that's my jam.
Ayocha.
No.
Oh my God.
No.
Wait. Total satisfaction.
No. Kulukuta only ngonetaga.
That's
Because I'm trying to get them to. We must move on.
What's that song? You are my one and only lover.
No.
Nobody else can ever do me any better.
One guys, all of you just send money.
No,
Okay.
wait. I think I know it.
He said it's Cindy, so
It is Cindy.
okay.
We're now just guessing.
And we're just guessing songs.
Like boom.
So you might as well just tell us. Tell us.
It is Boom Party.
Boom Party.
Yes.
This is what I do, ladies
I'm
and
not calling you
gentlemen.
daddy. I'll call you
One
papi.
guess.
Yeah, that's
One
Boom Party.
answer. Yes. Boom party.
You guys are lucky that I'm done asking the questions.
Ooh.
That's my jam. That's my jam.
Next one.
Okay, so now I'm moving on to my
Your
to my
Your
segment.
daily job.
But before I move on to that
Can we
segment,
quickly get Felix on Zoom to give us 2 more?
you over enjoy
It's
it.
fun. It's
enjoy
fun.
it.
You'll come back for part 2.
No,
You'll
but
come back for
real,
part.
before Damzi takes us,
Yeah.
you mentioned the rubber double situation earlier, and I just want to ask you 2 songs apart from the one you mentioned, 2 rubber double songs that for you are yes, this was for me in that rubber double phase, in that zone. These were 2 jams that I over.
Can I only 2?
Yeah, we don't have
Because
all day.
Mwami Sentiment was a seminal jam.
Now, aside from that, first give me 2.
There's Olunyididi.
Yes.
That's
Which
one
was-
of
For
my-
sure.
Which was dope.
I agree.
Fun fact, he was parodying a
Yes.
Beanie Man song.
Yeah.
Yes,
For that one.
Yeah.
Yes, I listened to it.
Reverse the thing, we better
Yeah.
reverse the thing. Yeah.
Another one.
Another one. I said apart from the one you originally.
Wait, those are 2 jams. We go.
Okay. All right.
Damzi, any for you?
Leave me alone.
You were not rubber dubbing.
They've said them. They've said them.
Sorry, that doesn't
They've
make it
said
to the
them.
list.
Okay, cool. So as always, we're going to end with random would you rather questions that don't amount to much. Yes.
Rudende is like, oh no, not actual quiz questions.
No, I
Okay,
mean.
so I'm going to start easy as always. Would you rather know every language or be able to play every instrument?
Ooh, instrument. That's easy for me.
instrument.
Why instrument, Mark?
Fun fact, I used to play a lot of instruments before the
Used to?
departure.
Oh, like in the
Before.
Airtel
Yeah.
ad.
I used to and play, compete, enjoy. I really, really enjoyed playing a lot of our traditional instruments. Xylophone, piano,
And
tuba,
spoons
which
and
is
plates in the Airtel ad.
Spoons and plates in the Airtel ad. It came from my experience. No, but after leaving, I didn't get that. I didn't get to do it again, and now I feel so bad that I would probably be in front of the thing, and it's not like a bike per se, but and I've never gotten it, I've actually never tried again, so I feel so bad. I miss it. It was a dope feeling, and music is dope, so I would definitely go instruments.
Instruments. Okay.
Languages.
Languages. Why languages?
Languages. Imagine if I could walk into the UN summit and speak to every delegate in their language.
To tell them what? To ask for food.
No,
Tell them
He's
you're
a
hungry.
storyteller.
Not just that. Because think about it this way. I can translate for anybody on the planet.
That's true.
Superpower.
Anyone on the planet. That right there is a superpower, right? If I could talk to anybody in their language, dead languages included.
What do you mean dead language?
It'll
Let's
be
not
like
complicate
Latin,
it.
like
okay?
Latin and what?
No, can you not? Let's don't overachieve, okay?
Okay. Every language.
Yeah.
Every language.
Yeah.
Instruments.
Why?
After failing dance and rap,
Why instruments?
I've always, when something I've always been able to replicate effortlessly is beats. If I hear a song playing, we used to drum on desks in school. I can replicate a beat. But also, I'm fascinated by people that actually have the skill to learn how to play instruments. My wife plays guitar, and there's a big guitar at home. And sometimes I get it, I go on YouTube to tutorial how to play a guitar.
when she's not there,
And it looks complicated. I'm like,
Yeah.
I just put it back in the case. But people that are able to play instruments, it's fascinating because you're able to communicate in a language besides just words. So yeah, instruments.
I mean, there are two different forms of language because it's music and then it's like actual languages.
Damzi.
I don't know. I struggled with this one, honestly. I really, really struggled. Because I think being able to play instruments is a very special thing.
Yeah.
Like, there's a time where here in Sensamba was playing and I was just like, but look at this. You, God's favorite. Do you know what I mean? God's favorite. So I think it would be instruments because I think, I'm passionate enough. I understand the appeal to speak the languages, but like instruments, that's just awesome. I think it's just an awesome thing to be able
Although
to
I do get the language thing because I know that being there in that situation where you speak, a language that others don't, and then you're the one to relay a message, and you're the one who can do this. It's also quite dope.
A level of power to that.
Yeah.
When you say, because they're depending on you to interpret for them. But also, do you know how disarming it is when somebody walks up to you and speaks to you in your language?
Yeah.
Instantly, you see them differently.
Yes.
You're like,
Yes.
one of us.
my person. Okay. All right. Next question. Would you rather never need to sleep or never need to eat?
I feel like that's a double-edged question. Because you know how you have such a great buffet, all you can think about is Nagana. So now I'm just going through life lethargic.
But you don't need to sleep. There's no
rest is-
lethargy. There's no nothing.
Rest is a weapon. Rest is a weapon.
So you'd rather never...
Because you just keep going 100%. When are you going to slow down? When are you going to just, take some time to shut down and recalibrate?
So thanks for the explanation, but pick one.
Well,
Never need to eat or never need to sleep, if you had to choose.
at that point, when I say I've never been this hungry in my life, you believe me?
You choose eating.
Huh?
You choose...
Never need to.
Or you...
I never need to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just so much good food out there.
Yeah.
Mark.
That's the answer is his last. After all those meme
Food, eh?
the last part there, like
But what's
never
the
need to
catch
sleep.
here?
Also, I already don't
There's no
sleep.
catch.
If you don't eat, you don't die. If you don't sleep, you don't die.
Yes. All of them,
Never
you're
need
fine.
to.
Never
not
need,
never
never need
sleep.
to eat.
Never need
Yeah?
to eat.
Yeah.
Oh no, Ian has. Oh my God.
Why? You don't like food?
I don't care about food.
Never say that in public again. Please edit that one out.
Edit him
Save
out.
this for you.
No, I struggle with food.
No.
Never say that. Edit that one as well.
Rudende, I remember being in uni with Ian and like
And he didn't like eating?
he eats like a toddler. Like he'll get his plate of food, take one bite, roll on the carpet, and I'm not exaggerating. Like go there, first roll around, and now that he has a son, I'm really hoping he doesn't get his appetite from. Because I imagine them together rolling on the carpet.
Wow. The slander has been
No,
slandered.
maybe I don't know. Maybe I need to learn how to cook.
What
I don't
would
know, I
you
just-
already can't eat?
food.
You want to learn how to cook?
Wow.
Food tough when you learn things about
that's
people.
sad. That's
Tough.
sad.
Oh, and Damzi, let me add something worse for you.
You?
He doesn't like mangoes or mango juice.
It's okay.
Let me tell you, we're going to fight later
You-
about
you.
this. I like sleep.
But you also like food.
You get eh?
Damzi, you can't leave.
Bumere.
No, I think never need to sleep because
Damzi always says food is a love language.
it really is a
You're
love
on your
language.
own.
Let me tell you, if you love me, feed me.
You're on your own.
That's
Do
it.
you know sleep when you're just so tired and you sleep and wake up and your back is even hurting? But
Do you know when you've had a bad day and then like food is? Let me tell
me, I
you,
don't know.
food
Spicy
can
that
cure
never
your bad
happened.
day because it's
This guy
like
doesn't know.
woo, 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 woo.
You know what it's
Anyway.
like to land at the buffet line at 12:30 and they've opened the matoke like this. And you're the first guy to break into that golden brown mash. You can keep your sleep.
Okay, so final question: would you rather have no taste or be colorblind? There's someone here in the room that I would want to ask that question, but they're not stayed here. But anyway, would you rather have no taste or
Ask
be
him.
colorblind?
It is okay. You can keep the sight. It's colorblind.
You can keep the color.
I will be colorblind.
Really?
At
Yes.
least I can see.
I
Didn't
will
say
be
from mine,
colorblind.
I'll take it.
Didn't we watch black and white TV for a very long time? Did we not
Did you
understand?
enjoy it?
Did we not? Wait. First of all, keep it.
Yesterday,
Mark,
So why are you eating if you can't taste the food?
for sustenance, for good
so that you don't die.
Look at this rubbish.
Mark, what's
Very
your
stupid
answer?
statement.
You see, it would have been harder if it was full blind, but color blind, man.
It's okay.
Colors are overrated anyway. So,
I
okay.
expected that from gentlemen. Yes,
Test.
hey, and Ian is not a gent.
But you don't
Rather
already
than-
like food.
Yeah.
So it's an easy win for him.
Test can go.
You see, he doesn't like food.
Do you know colors? You know what colors do? See?
That's the person I want to ask this question. But anyway,
He doesn't count. He doesn't count. He doesn't count. He doesn't count. No.
People will be like, they had COVID.
That's already a
test
slanted
can
question
go.
for him. He doesn't count. Yeah.
I don't know. Color is nice.
Color is nice.
Okay.
Food is better.
Is it
Food
though?
is
Yeah,
best.
it is. But like, I feel like the world has no character without color.
And food has no character without taste.
I get it, but
Exactly.
like, are you
What?
always eating? But you
Yes.
always no.
Sorry.
No, I think I'd rather lose taste. I'd rather lose taste because, like,
No.
I can't afford to not see the world in its true
Yesterday I
color.
watched NSYNC Gone again because the video.
Black and white.
Black and white.
Black and white.
And yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's
it
how
still
your
works
color.
now.
That's how your color is gone. Also, anyway,
Come on.
The only color was we won. Anyway,
your age is showing. Anywho,
Yeah, man.
that's all the questions I had today. That's
Well
all the
done.
questions, and I think Hassan is
does
going
Rudende
to
have
fight
a
us
would you
very
rather?
soon.
Do I have a would you rather?
just checking.
No, I do not, but I have a question still regardless.
no.
Because this is a podcast about music.
Yeah.
Recently, Burna Boy said something to the effect that Afrobeats was very vapid and
Yeah.
there was no substance to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which again goes back to what we're talking about, the creativity machine being hampered by that constant need to create.
Yeah. Yeah.
So many times you don't put out music that has staying power. People came after him.
Yes.
And I felt that they didn't understand what he was saying.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? In any order.
Not all at once.
Ascending.
No.
I think I got what he was saying.
yes.
I think I got what he was saying. A lot of Afrobeat music is more about,
Nyash.
things that I feel are inconsequential, right? And you don't hear very often Afrobeat music that is, deeply emotional, or you get what I mean? Like, it's,
Meaningful.
I don't think there's a lot of it.
Hold up.
in my opinion.
Hold up. Joe Boy's alcohol.
Yeah, but the way it was,
Do you listen to what he's saying?
I do listen to what he's saying.
Speaking to his struggle.
But
Yeah.
how
Alcohol
many
is
people are going to listen because it just feels like, do you get what I
That's
mean?
why I said
Vibe,
my
Chidongo.
alcohol.
Do you get what I mean? It's like, yes,
Some people think it's an excuse for me to drink. Like, I've had a long week, that's why I sip my alcohol.
that's the bit that
That's
people
how
pick
most
out.
people
Do you get
interpret
what I
it.
mean? So
Here's
the
a-
way it is packaged,
There's another song. What's it called? Ameno.
the way it is packaged.
Man.
People are thinking about, you want to bam, you want to chill with the big boys, but it's actually a cautionary tale against occultism.
How many
Yeah.
people know
Don't
that?
go munyanja to get
But how
but
many
people-
people know that?
So you're saying it's you're damned if you are, you're damned if you don't. You might
no,
as
the
well just-
package. I don't know. I get what he's saying. I totally understand what he's saying.
But then isn't music of an era reflective of the society of the era as well?
Yes.
Many people maybe don't want to be reminded of the tough times, so to speak. Because Afrobeats originally, when it was done by the Felas, the 70s stuff, it was music of resistance. It was rebellion music.
Yes.
Right. So it spoke to the times then. Afrobeats now is really, even if it's just speaking about party and and everything, it's a reflection of society at that time. Maybe people don't want to be remembered of how hard life is.
I don't know. But
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I get
Yeah.
what he's saying.
For me, it's a mixed bag because on one end, I understand what he's saying. Feels like the fact that Afrobeat is so popular right now, we're misusing the opportunity to tell more relevant stories and have make it have a soul. On the other hand, it's like you're saying, sometimes you see something and you just don't have to comment. Like your Burna Boy, you definitely know this will be taken the wrong way. You could have just not said it.
But then again, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
There is no, but
He gets a spike in interest right before he releases an album.
drops.
yeah, but you see that again biased me because the first person I had it from walked up to my desk. He was so outraged, like, "Oh my God, can you imagine? Burna said this and the album is not nice. I'm like, wait, I've not even listened to the album. Like, you're already biasing me. Like, and then again, when I listened to the album, it stayed at the back of my mind. So I was trying to listen for the soul he was talking about. And somehow I've not enjoyed it
You didn't
because
get the
someone
soul.
Already biased you.
yeah.
Mark, what's your thoughts?
You've said the first person you say from. The first thing I saw was the Rudende exchange on X. Jesus, still not used to that. And I'll say it's you get it. You get that feeling that there might be that it might be lacking in that here and there. Maybe at the same time how do I say?
That's the point.
Like,
That's what it's supposed to
sometimes
be.
it's also like I don't know. Yeah, like there's intent in that. Like there are people who we all make or listen to music for different things. There's music we listen to where we just want vibe, this, and there's music we go to when we want that
Feels.
deep connection and feels and stuff like that. So that type of music needs to exist too. The empty one as well as the
Best of both worlds.
Yeah,
I
so
get it. I see
Kasavu
you.
Kanyama.
yeah. So
Kasavu
for
Kanyama
me,
did.
you know,
Okay.
it
Don't
is
say
what it
dead.
is.
Don't say lol. It's not illegal to laugh. What the chi?
Dead. What are you going to do?
Well, guys, we
can keep going if we don't
This-
stop
yeah.
ourselves.
Oh yeah, that is also
Yeah.
true. Especially some of us.
it's been a fantastic episode. I've seen you in corridors, never met you in person. It's an honor to be a captain on this episode.
Honored to
And-
be here.
And I have a problem. You ruined chapati for breakfast. for me.
What?
Yes, you.
Boss, never say that in life.
Eh?
My God.
But
You
it's a
already
fight.
don't eat, so
it's a
what are you
fight for
saying?
another day.
Listen,
But
let me tell you, there are two things that are universally loved. Chapati and Rihanna. If you say I made you hate chapati,
There's
my
a time
God.
you're talking about.
Do you know I can
things.
never go to Busoga now?
And for me, it's personal. My wife is from there, so I was like,
Oh, Busoga.
But well, guys, thank you for rocking with us. It's been a fantastic episode. Felix, shout out to you and Kimani. Kimani, let him come back home. Enough of Kenya. The cuddles, it's well.
And and
The room is
besides,
still on. The room is still on.
please, let him come back because we know you guys. You argued with soup. Your food is dry. The man is being choked. And not the nice way.
Not the one you wait for.
But well, till next time, thank you. We'll be back with Felix, hopefully. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Deuces. My God.